Let's be real for a second. Have you ever wondered how your own finances stack up against everyone else's? You scroll through your phone, you see the vacations, the new cars, and you just have to ask, how is everyone doing this? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the actual numbers.
We are diving into the real, raw data, the financial truth of the average person. Now, some of these stats might actually make you feel a little better about where you are. Others, they might just be the wake-up call you need. But either way, you're about to get a super clear picture of where things really stand.
All right, let's kick things off with the foundation of everything, income. What does the typical full-time worker in America actually bring home? Let's find out.
So, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, $52,000 is the magic number. That's the median gross income for a single full-time worker. And median just means you're right in the middle. Half the people make more and half the people make less. But, and this is a big but, that's not the number that hits your bank account.
Because once the government takes its cut, that 52 grand shrinks a lot. After federal, state, and payroll taxes, the actual take-home pay is closer to $38,000. Suddenly, that feels like a much tighter budget to work with, right? So where is all that money going?
Okay, now for the part of the financial puzzle that trips almost everyone up, spending, and the debt that almost always follows it.
The average household shells out about $5,577 every single month. Annually, that's almost $67,000. Now, wait a minute. Remember that take-home pay of 38 grand? This spending is way more than that. You can see right here how the debt starts to creep in.
Now, you might see this number and think, hey, not bad. The average FICO score is 715, which is officially considered good. It kind of suggests that people are paying their bills on time. But that score doesn't tell the whole story. In fact, it's hiding a pretty big problem. And here it is. The average household is dragging around over $9,000 in high-interest credit card debt. And let's be clear, this isn't a mortgage. This is debt from all the day-to-day stuff that just piles up.
So, what's the true cost of carrying that $9,000 balance? Well, with interest rates around 20%, that debt costs the average household $1,800 every year. Just in interest. That's money that just disappears.
And you've really got to let that sink in. That's not just a number on a statement. It's a financial anchor. That $1,800 could be invested, it could be a down payment, it could be your security. Instead, it's just feeding the debt machine. And that has a huge impact on the next part of our story. Okay, let's talk about the long game, retirement. All these habits we've been talking about, the income stretched to its limit, that $1,800 vanishing into thin air, this is where it all leads. And honestly, the picture is pretty alarming.
Just take a second to process this. A full quarter of Americans have $0 saved for retirement. Nothing. Zip. 1 out of every 4 people is heading toward their golden years with no personal savings to rely on.
Now, even for the people who are saving, the progress is just painfully slow. The median balance for folks between 35 and 44 is about 91 grand. Okay, but look what happens by the time they hit retirement age. The median balance actually goes down to about 88,000. So what does that even mean for day-to-day life? Well, if you use a standard rule of thumb for retirement, that $88,000 nest egg provides less than $300 a month. $300. I mean, could you cover your food and your bills on that? No way. It is simply not enough to live on.
And this timeline right here really highlights the trap. See, the average person wants to retire at 61, but they can't get their full Social Security benefits until they're 67. That creates a 6-year gap that has to be funded entirely by those tiny savings we just saw. It's an incredibly risky spot to be in.
Okay, I know, all of those numbers were pretty grim, and you might be feeling a little down. But I want you to focus on this quote, because this is where the entire story shifts from a warning into a massive opportunity.
And this is maybe the most important takeaway of this whole explainer. Average is not your destiny. The financial habits of the typical person have set the bar so low that being better than average is way more achievable than you think. Here's a perfect example. The average personal savings rate is just 6%. 6! Most financial experts say you need to be saving 10 to 15% for retirement alone. So just by saving more than 6%, you are already crushing the average.
So, when you put this all together, the stretched income, the high debt, the tiny savings, you get to the final scorecard, net worth. And for the median American household, it's just $122,000. That's the result of a lifetime of average habits. But you do not have to settle for that.
So,
how do you do it? How do you make sure your financial story has a much, much better ending? Well, it's actually surprisingly simple.
Here's your playbook. It's just 3 steps. 1. Save more than that 6% benchmark. 2. Make it a personal rule to avoid high-interest credit card debt like the plague. And 3. Invest consistently for the long haul, even if you're starting small. Just doing these 3 things puts you on a completely different path.
And this is the most empowering part of all this data. You don't need a 6-figure salary. You don't need to be some Wall Street wizard. The key to winning with money isn't some crazy high income, it's being disciplined and intentional with the money you already have.
So we've seen the numbers. We know exactly where the path of average leads. But these stats, they're just a starting point. They're not your destiny. So the only real question left is, what are you going to do differently?